If you guys are in need of coins for any reason, make sure to check out cheapmaddencoins.com. Use code Mike at checkout for 10% off. One of the most anticipated games all of yesterday was the Eagles versus the Rams, and boy, was it a good game. I think that Eagles fans and Rams fans both had positives and negatives to take away from yesterday's game. For the Eagles, I think it showed just absolutely how resilient they are as a team. Not only that, but they also have a dominant 1-2 punch at the run game. As for the Rams, Todd Gurley just proved that he's one of the best running backs in the league. Unfortunately, the Rams were not able to pick up the W, and they lost to the Eagles without Carson Wentz at the end. Now, I want to say this. Carson Wentz, he did throw 4 touchdowns, so it's not like he wasn't there whatsoever, but the Eagles pulled through. They were the better team yesterday. Nick Foles, I absolutely love him. He got traded to the Rams low-key, and I was like a big Nick Foles fan, so it didn't really hurt that bad. But yeah, the Eagles, they picked up the W. They were the better team. They're going to the playoffs. They won the division. It's going to be an exciting team to watch. And hey, you never know. Nick Foles might be able to take his team all the way to the Super Bowl and win. You never know with these guys. But I think a lot of people, especially Eagles fans, might be wondering, what if Carson Wentz didn't tear his ACL? And I don't want this to come off as like insensitive or something like that. Obviously, it's a terrible thing that Carson Wentz tore his ACL. It's terrible for not only Eagles fans, but for the NFL in general. They're such a fun team to watch. To see a player like that tear his ACL, it really just sucks. So we are going to answer that exact question today. We are going to sim out the rest of the season with injuries turned off. We are going to see how Carson Wentz does. Now, guys, taking a look at their current roster, again, 89 overall Carson Wentz. You have that 1-2 punch at the running back like Garrett Blount and Jay Ajayi. The receiving core is actually pretty good. Alshon Jeffrey, who we all know is a beast. Torrey Smith had a great game yesterday. And one of the most improved players in the NFL, Nelson Aguilar. Their offensive line could be arguably the best in the NFL if the man Jason Peters wasn't hurt, but besides that fact, it's pretty darn good. As to the defense, it's pretty darn good. One player that obviously the Eagles miss a lot is Jordan Hicks, who got injured earlier in the season. Players like Malcolm Jenkins in the secondary and Brandon Graham on the defensive line, they are absolutely hell. So we are going to see what happens with this exact team, with Carson Wentz at the quarterback, not Nick Foles. Nick Foles, again, I love you, dog, but yeah, we're going to see what Carson Wentz can do the rest of this season. Now, I started out against playing the Rams, and obviously the Eagles beat the Rams, so I'm just going to go ahead and force a W there. Now, the Eagles lost to the Chiefs. That was definitely not a good loss. You should have definitely beat the Chiefs, and they lost to the Seahawks, which was tough, but Seattle is very good. And if you guys don't know how to force different wins in the franchise mode, you just go click the thing. Since the Eagles are the away, we're going to force the away win, and looks like they got the W, right? Yep, okay. I think I got to go to the next week to get the W, so I'll check back then. Yep, that's exactly what we needed to do, 24-6. Wow, they absolutely spanked the Rams. Jared Goff didn't have a great game, but I don't think he really had a bad game. Todd Gurley, okay, yeah, definitely a better game than this. Either way, though, guys, with this current roster, the Eagles are 11-2 right now. They already clinched their division, so they don't really need any more victories, but honestly, I think they're going to win out. You guys look and see at the rest of the teams that the Eagles have to play. The Giants should be an easy W. The Raiders should be an easy W, and the Cowboys might be a little bit more difficult, but they should be able to pick up the W, especially because Carson Wentz is playing in all 3 of these games. So like I said, the Eagles are currently 11-2. If they win those 3 games, they will be 14-2, which is that's a good record. What we were going to do is we're going to sim all the way to the playoffs, see what happens. Again, I feel like they're going to win out 14-2. They're going to go to these playoffs absolutely rolling with Carson Wentz at the helm. These Eagles, they're going to be scary. I guarantee you that. And what do you know? The Eagles are the #1 team in the NFL, winning out at 14-2. You look at these last couple games, looks like they absolutely destroyed the Giants. Looks like they absolutely destroyed the Raiders. And the Cowboys game was actually kind of close. You could say Dak Prescott had a good game. 5 touchdowns, 1 interception, and their team lost, which is definitely disappointing. Zeke, 23 rushes, 91 yards. Not really that great there. And in terms of receiving, Jason Witten, Terrence Williams, and Dez Bryant all had pretty good games. Carson Wentz, 249 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. That's all right. I'm guessing the rushing attack was pretty good. Yeah, 27 rushes, 98 yards, 10 rushes, 45 yards. That's pretty good. And for that receiving, Zach Ertz, wow, he had a good game. Looks like Jay Ajayi had a receiving touchdown, which is pretty good. So he had a receiving touchdown and a rushing touchdown. As I said before, though, they won out, and they are now 14-2 going into the playoffs. Just so I can look at the rest of the division, the Eagles are 14-2, the Cowboys are 8-8, the Redskins are 6-10, and the Giants are 3-13. Carson Wentz finished out the year with 34 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and 3,700 passing yards. That's pretty good. Not gonna lie, that's pretty darn good. That's MVP material right there. The Garrett Blount had 1,000 yards. Ajayi almost had 1,000 yards. And Carson Wentz, about 342 yards. That's pretty good too. Looks like their leading receiver was Alshon Jeffrey with 8 touchdowns and 850 yards. Zach Ertz not that far behind him with 808 yards and 11 touchdowns. Talk about a bounce back year. Like I said before, Nelson Aguilar, 725 yards, but 7 touchdowns, 45 yards per game on average. That's pretty good for your slot receiver. Taking a look at the league MVP, Tom Brady at #1, somehow Alex Smith at number 2, don't really get that. Russell Wilson at number 3 and Carson Wentz at number 4. That's kind of surprising, not gonna lie to you. I mean, Russell Wilson probably should be behind Carson Wentz, and Alex Smith should not be on there. I don't get that at all. Hey, look at that. Jared Goff at number 10. Okay, Rams are 12-4. I'll take that. So, taking a look at the playoffs, the Ravens are playing at the Jaguars. The Panthers are playing at the Rams. That should be a good one. The Titans are playing at the Chargers. So, Los Angeles Chargers actually got in the playoffs. It's something I think is going to happen in real life. And the Saints are playing at the Falcons. That one's going to be a shootout. We're going to go ahead and advance to the next week and see what happens. This next week should be very, very interesting. So, looking at the wild card, looks like the Jacksonville Jaguars beat the Ravens. Looks like the Panthers absolutely destroyed the Rams. Oh my gosh, I really hope that doesn't happen in real life. The Chargers beat the Titans. That's crazy. And the Falcons beat the Saints. This is going to be an interesting playoff run.
Thank you, Larry. It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look live there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the Carolina Panthers and the Philadelphia Eagles.
All right, boys, we are going to take a look and see who wins between the Panthers and the Eagles. Looks like the Eagles are up 7-3, now 10-7 Carolina. It's tied up at half, though. Philadelphia Eagles, I think they're going to come away with this. They're up 24-10. It's about to be a murder. 31-10. Eagles are taking this game. Facts. It's going to happen. Oh my goodness. The Panthers are coming back, and the game is over. Cam Newton and the Panthers take an L to Carson Wentz and these Philadelphia Eagles. Guys, taking a look at the stats, Carson Wentz, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Not really a great game. I feel like the rushing yards are what absolutely destroyed it, bro. 199 rushing yards for LeGarrette Blount, Eagles fans. This has got to be promising to you because even though Carson Wentz is out in real life, LeGarrette Blount is still a very good rusher. So is Jay Ajayi. This is crazy, man. They're on to that conference championship. Looking at these divisional matchups, looks like the Chargers beat the Steelers. This is craziness. Obviously, we know the Eagles beat the Panthers. Looks like New England beat Jacksonville in an absolute shootout, and Atlanta beat Minnesota. So this is going to be crazy. The Atlanta Falcons versus the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC Championship game. Here we go.
Okay, Larry, thank you. We are just off I-95 at the home of the Eagles, Lincoln Financial Field on the south side of Philadelphia. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the Atlanta Falcons and the Philadelphia Eagles.
Philadelphia Eagles versus the Atlanta Falcons. Looks like Atlanta jumps out to a 7-0 lead. Philadelphia having a little trouble scoring in this first half. All right. Oh my goodness. Atlanta's up 14-3 at half, guys. 17-3 at half. Okay, Philadelphia gets a field goal. Another field goal. This is not good. This is not good for the Eagles. Oh my gosh. The Eagles are going to lose. The Eagles lost. Oh my goodness. At home to the Atlanta Falcons. Carson, I feel so bad. I wanted them to win it all. Guys, taking a look at these stats, the Eagles, they had 5 takeaways, 5, but they couldn't win this game. That's tough. Carson Wentz, 22 of 46 for 225 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. How was the rushing game? 23 rushes, 104 yards, and Jay Ajayi only had 1 rushing attempt. Eagles fans, I know you got to be heated about that. The Eagles definitely played well, but if you guys see, they started out down by 2 much. They had to come back, and I just don't think they're able to pull it off. Guys, obviously the Eagles lost to the Falcons in the conference championship. Looks like the Chargers beat the Patriots in the conference championship for the AFC. Guys, the Chargers are the real deal. They really are. I know Vic is probably watching this video, just sitting back in his chair, just doing the Birdman hand rub. Like, the Chargers fans, y'all are good, but I don't know about Super Bowl bound. I don't know about all that. So, guys, it looks like the Falcons absolutely destroyed the Chargers in the Super Bowl. There's no way the Falcons were going to go to the Super Bowl and lose 2 times in a row. They're not going to do the Bills. Looking at the stats, I highly doubt Phillip Rivers was your MVP. It was probably someone else. Definitely not Melvin Gordon either. Might have been Travis Benjamin. 8 catches, 135 yards, and a touchdown. That's pretty good. Well, guys, this is my rendition of what if Carson Wentz never tore his ACL. Obviously, he got only to the championship game in real life, he might have gotten farther. He might not even gotten that far. You never know, but this is what happened in my simulation. Hopefully it's an entertaining video. I feel like Eagles fans, you still got a lot of hope with Nick Foles at the quarterback position. There's a very real possibility you guys can make a deep playoff run. Either way though, guys, I'm going to end the video there. Hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, make sure to drop a like down below, subscribe if you're new, and guys, I'll see you in my next upload. Peace.
I'm so